Okay, people, so normally I start these episodes off in a good mood. Normally I'm like, yo, it's gonna be a good time. Regardless if the news cycle is a little bit chaotic, we're gonna get through this together, and we're gonna have a good time overall and a good experience. However, I'm not even gonna lie. I started this episode off a little bit not in the right sort of the bed, my lord. Because some of the stuff that just recently went down within the last couple of days in the anime community and just in general relating to anime, I was like, oh no. I mean, alone, the first couple of stories that we have in this episode are just like, wow, between an absolute disgusting liar exposed and then also things getting worse for anime fans. I was like, you know what? How do I structure this thing? Do I start off with the love like I normally do? But then that would mean that, okay, ooh, we might have to end the episode off in a bad tone, and I want you guys to watch this full entire episode and enjoy it, not leave with bad vibes. So I was like, boom, we'll get the bad stuff out first, and then we'll end off in good vibes with a bunch of other cool stuff. So I guess there's nothing to it but to do it, right? So without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of Fornevernews! We gotta start things off right, okay? We gotta start things off proper. We can't just go swinging blindly, lads. Let's do it right. Much better, people. Which, by the way, a lot of people have been contacting me about this whole getup, and they're like, yo, dog, I want to buy it. I have a little bit of a wait until I get paid. Can you wait a little bit? So we're gonna be extending the ForneverNews 2022 merch line for about another week or so. PayPal, Cash App. Yeah, there's instructions there. You could get your stuff in and get your merch. And with it, you can have swag, unlike some people out there, okay? You could have a little bit of pizzazz. You can be looking all stylish. You can be feeling good about yourself and not be an absolute weasel and a worm like what happened right here. Maybe you've been following me for a while, maybe you haven't, but in 2019 I talked briefly about what was going on in the music hip-hop scene, the fact that there was a lot of hip-hop artists that were naming themselves after anime characters. No, I'm not kidding you. In case you don't know, you've been living under the rock. There's a lot of anime character inspired rapper names, such as this one in particular that we're going to be talking about right now, Kid Trunks. Yes, legit, his name is Kid Trunks. In case you don't know about him, I believe he was once down with XXXTentacion in his group, if I'm not mistaken. It was called Members Only. I believe he was a part of that whole movement. He ended up being a nomination for the XXL freshman list. He didn't make it, but ultimately that was what I knew about him, and I even tried to champion him. I was trying to support, like, yo, dog, you repping anime as you're going into hip-hop and music. That is fantastic. That is dope. I'm gonna give you support. I mean, we had the other weirdo dude, what was his name again, Kid Boo, that he said he was a clone, and then all that insanity came out about him. Like, we had that dude, but I was like, I don't know about him. But yo, Kid Trunks, fine, do your thing. Let's see what happens. At the end of the day, you were down with one of my favorite artists from the newer generation, XXXTentacion. Maybe you could do something and it'll be cool. But lately, it's been down bad because unfortunately, after X passed, things really didn't go into the direction that that group probably had hoped, and ultimately, Kid Trunks really didn't blow up. That's why he ultimately did a bunch of dumb things like what we're about to say right here, and that's, well, for starters, he, I believe, was about to get caught or got caught and admitted to lying about having lung cancer. Somebody named Kid Trunks, repping the anime community on a mainstream level to a certain degree. Any rap fans out there, anybody that may come across him, oh, Kid Trunks, that's Dragon Ball anime related. So now you're kind of connecting a bridge in a dark manner of why would you be such a piece of garbage and lie about stuff like that? Like, dude, it really hit me and honestly got me upset, and that's why I started off this video telling you guys that, like, yo, dog, I'm trying my best to be positive, but I really got a few choice words for somebody that's going to lie about having lung cancer for clout, like to straight up get clout. Like, I get it, people make mistakes, I get it, we're in a different era, it's hard for people, everybody is trying to come up and all that jazz, but I don't get lying about shit like that when I have people that have passed away to cancer. How dare you be a disgusting critin like that to be doing stuff like that? Like, yo, dog, woo! Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, it was absolutely disgusting to hear when I was starting to hear these things. I was like, well, that's so wrong. That's gross, disgusting, especially for somebody that I kind of had a little bit of support for 3 years ago. But then it even got worse. I don't know if you got worse because that's pretty sick and disgusting. I don't know how much low you can get. But ultimately, he got caught lying again and got exposed, or he was about to get caught and yet again came out and admitted it. And I was like, ew, you really are terrible. Your name can't be Kid Trunks anymore. You gotta be, I don't know, Kid in a Trunk or something. Yeah, Kid in a Trunk is your new name. Because the next infamous lie this dude was caught in, he lied that he had got shot. I forget if it was like in the face or in the head or some shit like that. Like, he lied about getting shot, and it was like, holy cow. Like, what do you mean? Because initially it came out, he said, yo, he got shot. It was like, oh my god. I believe he even posted the pictures of him in a hospital, if I'm not mistaken. And then it got stranger, because sometimes reality can be even stranger or more bizarre, a la JoJo, than fiction. Reality sometimes can be a little bit like, oh, whoa, oh, because dude, while he was up in that hospital in that picture that he took getting shot to it, it was not anything to do with him getting shot. Actually, he admitted that he got cut with his mask. He was there for something completely unrelated to this, got cut with the mask, and then ultimately said, hey, you know, let me use this, I guess, for an opportunity. It was a terrible decision. I will give him some credit for at least coming forward. Some people, I really look at them like, wow, there's something wrong with you, and you will really stick with a lie like that. Like, imagine if he just kept lying, like there was proof footage, video of him saying that he's lying and all that stuff, and he kept on going with it. Like, I would really look at you crooked. I could look at you a little bit more like, okay, at least you manned up to it, but you did this twice now. You lied about some really egregious stuff. So now we got to look at you a little bit like, oh, kid in a trunk, we can't rock with you no more. You have been banished from anime fandom in general. He does not represent the anime community, and I am stamping that as an OG in anime and manga fandom. Kid in a trunk, you are banished to the shadow realm. Never use the name Kid Trunks again in your life, because dog, that's nasty, bro. You nasty. Oh my god. I don't know what type of situation I gotta be. It gotta be basically like a life or death situation for a relative of mine or somebody that I genuinely care about, or a child. It gotta be something real serious for me to go to those extents. But for clout, dog, like, just like you are trying to make it in music, everybody's trying to make it, right? Like, I'm always trying to advance my career to the next level. Like, what can I do? How can I advance this whole thing over here with ForneverNews and ForneverWorld and all of this good stuff that we do over here? But I never think to myself, I'm gonna fake that I got shot into my bookshelf, or oh my god, yo, I'm gonna have myself pictured up with a volume of Naruto in a hospital talking about like, yo, dog, I got leukemia, I'm dying. Like, you're sick. You kind of gotta have something wrong. And I believe that he did go on into details to say that he's been suffering from a whole bunch of battles that he's having, and that's completely understandable. That, yo, dog, you got demons, everybody got demons, but this is some next level stuff, dog. Like, you playing around about things that people are fighting for and fighting their lives, you know what I'm saying? They're fighting for their lives every day with these things. People die every day, B, and you joking around. Like, I could be corny and quote Cardi and Offset with they do anything for clout, but I mean, it really does. Like, what else do you describe this as other than they do anything for clout? You faked an illness and near death for and just so you guys get a clear picture of all that went down with this kid in a trunk. Kid in a trunk admits he lied about getting shot and having lung cancer. Kid in a trunk is coming clean about an alleged gunshot injury that landed him in the hospital, and admits that he was diagnosed with cancer. The Broward County, Florida rapper, an original member of the Members Only rap ensemble, okay, so I was correct, with the late XXXTentacion, revealed via a recent Instagram live that began circulating at some point Monday that he wasn't shot, nor does he have lung cancer. Both were fabrications, according to Kid in a Trunk. Around the time that I did what I did, I'm not trying to blame or make any excuses up for what I did. What I did was very corny, dumb, stupid, and ouch, why are you using such language? But okay. And I can admit that as a man. He began in the live stream. First of all, I do want to apologize for what I said about me getting shot. I did not get shot. I had a seizure in the hospital, and I had the COVID mask over my face, and I was straining myself. So yeah, it's just so what? So you know they have metal strings in the COVID mask, and it popped out, and I cut myself in the chin. How does that get to you come up with? He also said I wasn't thinking, and not just that, I also have a very bad drug addiction. I felt that my career was going down. I felt it wasn't getting much love as it used to be. They say clout is a hell of a drug, but drug is a hell of a drug. I felt that me lying about getting shot would work on my behalf, which it didn't, and honestly, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever fucking done. And yes, I was clout chasing, I'll admit that. Again, I gotta give credit for that. About the cancer shit, I have an abscess growing in my chest and in the back of my brain that is cancerous. The one thing I did lie about is having lung cancer. I don't have lung cancer. I have a cancerous abscess growing in my chest in the back of my brain, so why not just say that? But I do not have lung cancer. I was just off the drugs. I got my phone at the wrong time. You guys don't have to believe me if you don't want to. I've been capping a lot due to me just overdoing myself, and there's more to there. And like I said, I ranted mainly off of emotion, right? I was just really upset to hear that, you know, those lies. The kid does seem like, you know, at the very least, he's trying to take accountability. He probably does need genuine help, and I hope he does get the help and doesn't do this again. But it's still so just, I'm gonna pray for that kid. Addiction is no joke. To go to those lengths, man. But fam, there's so many different problems in the world because we just talked about that, and now we got some other stuff going on. We got an update, and we got something even worse to report, because you were probably thinking to yourself like, yo, dog, it's not a big deal. Because in case you missed it, in one of the last episodes of ForneverNews, we talked about the fact that Netflix essentially is going to be only releasing 12 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure per year for part 6, when they ideally could have just released it weekly. Like, one of the biggest things with the JoJo fandom was the fact that there was like JoJo's Friday. So initially we all thought, oh great, you know, they're gonna just drop it, we're gonna be able to marathon even if it's just like every 3 months. And then ultimately they were like, no, the next set of 12 episodes comes damn near a year after the first one, and it was really, really bad. However, there was a lot of people that were like, yo, Fornev, that's not my problem, not my care. I don't care. It doesn't affect me, because they're like, yo, I don't even use Netflix, or if I do, I just go and grab my show and I cancel it and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. Like, it doesn't do nothing to me. And I'm saying to you right now with this big update that, oh yeah, no, it's gonna affect you. It is already affecting you. And I promise you with this news, it's like, unless they're really capped, which they very well could be, capped. A lot of people take these companies' statements and press releases at face value, which is a whole other topic regarding society and how people are just so gullible about anything that is released from big corporations. Like, corporation said it must be real. Like, what happened to the skeptics? Where are y'all at? Because I believe yesterday Netflix came out with a report saying some very big words that I kind of feel like it's hard to believe that they're actually telling the truth about this, because ultimately, like, yo, dog, are people really on Netflix like that watching anime? Because according to this press release, they said that over half of their subscribers in 2021 over on Netflix checked out anime and watched some type of anime. And I'm thinking to myself, they're like, first of all, again, is that true? Second of all, how much of that is attributed to the fact that they use their, marketing algorithms, that maybe if somebody checked out even, a kid pressed on a cartoon one time and then it popped up with some anime and somebody was at the very least interested. So I'll give them that at the very least they were able to have half of their customers give some type of impression, type of analytics towards anime and interest and stuff like that, because it says again that they watched something. So they might have just clicked on something, let it play for a few minutes, and they're counting that as a watch. But yeah, I don't know how accurate that would be again into anime fandom. But either way, when they say stuff like that, you still got to think to yourself like, okay, if Netflix has millions and millions and millions of people on there, right? They're also little by little controlling the narrative in terms of they're getting the big licenses, they're gaining these relationships with all these anime studios and whatnot. They're really starting to become a powerhouse. At what given point do you stop and think to yourself like, yo, dog, this is going to affect me even if I don't care about Netflix? Like, yo, dog, they got the big, David Production, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure multi-million thing to be under their house. They're getting stuff like Blue Period, they're getting exclusives, they're fighting for their life against Sony when it comes to the anime market because they see how lucrative and how valuable it is. Like, there's a massive thing going down there, but then you gotta look at Netflix like, yo, dog, so you're fighting, right? You're doing all of this, wham, wham, wham. You're kind of like freaking Boji with the sword. You're trying your damn hardest, but then you're screwing over people and holding over these 12 episodes a year so that, it's just really chaotic, making people check in about it, right? At the very least, because some people were saying, yo, Fornev, there's also a monetary gain in doing it the traditional weekly way, which, yeah, that is true, but also look at it like this. They're using the tactic of saving for a rainy day when it comes to things like this, and what I mean by that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fans guaranteed are all coming back every time that month drops of new episodes. So guaranteed every, let's just say November, if they decide to drop them in November, I believe the next set is coming September, but every time they drop, those same people, they're gonna be subscribed at that point. They may not be subscribed in between, but they're gonna be subscribed at that point, and that's playing the long-term game. I understand that some people look at it like, in the long term, it makes more sense financially. Yo, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be seasonal with our app, and we can't control that. The best thing we could do is to make sure that they continue to return seasonally and do things like this. So that's where they're playing their game, and that's where it kind of looks like, well, yeah, dog, is gonna take forever to get to. And also, I believe that would help out Araki, considering the fact that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I'm going way off a topic, but essentially JoJo's Bizarre Adventure got a part 9 in the works, and if JoJo's is being released so slow now, the anime, in comparison to how we were getting it rapid quick, then it'll give time for Araki to finish part 9 before we actually got to worry about will it get adapted or everything else has been adapted. Minus that, it's like, oh, Netflix is about to space this out for ages. We're gonna be, within the next few decades coming back to Netflix for more JoJo's. This is the long-term game that I'm telling you guys, because over half of Netflix subscribers watched anime in 2021. Remember how hard it used to be to watch anime? Depending on where you called home, it was once difficult, if not impossible, to check out the latest shows. It was only a couple of decades ago that people were trading DVDs, and before that, VHS tapes, and the idea of simultaneous release seemed like a far-fetched fantasy. Well, time marches on, and now anime is easy to find and watch. It's now so accessible that according to Variety, Netflix says that over half of its subscribers watched an anime show or movie last year, and that's big talk, over half. That's impressive and a good indication that, yes, of course, anime is indeed mainstream. In 2021, Netflix released 40 anime titles. That's a good number, but note that the streaming service's definition of anime isn't limited strictly to cartoons made in Japan. Netflix classifies Japanese animated titles as well as several Western animated titles as anime, writes the site. Interesting, real quick, I just gotta throw in right here. I had to come in real quick and I was like, yo, dog, hold on. So they are also counting Castlevania's streaming numbers alongside anime. They are also classifying Avatar as anime. anime. Therefore, this is kind of like, yo, dog, it's a lie, but also just trying to yet again build the idea that they are the home of anime. Half of our people watch anime, which kind of makes them look a little bit better in comparison to, like, you know, when it comes to the anime world at the very least, that everybody watches anime on Crunchyroll. So in the anime world, they are the anime people, right? Well, over here on this side, Netflix is like half of our people watching. The other half, we got the mainstream audience. We got the best of both worlds. So interesting though that they're using like everything on there as like anime, pretty much any type of animated Western title. While those viewing percentages might be impressive, Netflix also posted out that a whopping 90% of its Japanese subscribers watched anime last year. Well, the home country, when you check the top 10 most viewed charts on Netflix in Japan, it's packed with anime. At the same time, interest in anime has grown worldwide, and more than half of our members globally tuned in last year, said Netflix's Kohei Obata at Anime Japan 2022. From diversifying our slate to bringing back fan favorites, we want to continue growing our members' discovery and love for anime both in Japan and around the world with this next chapter of anime on Netflix. And I just gotta keep it solid. Like, it's just too hard to really gauge on how well and how big is their anime audience, because you don't have Avatar The Last Airbender over on Crunchyroll because it's not an anime. If it did, what would Crunchyroll's numbers be in terms of it being anime? You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not really playing fair in terms of the numbers. Obviously, none of these streaming sites do, right? All of them have their own little way of getting their numbers up and all of that good stuff. But Netflix, the way they play the game and whatnot, and even still the fact that they have like millions and millions of people, and at the very least, they're looking at it like there's some type of indication that there's more interest than ever on the platform for Netflix for anime, right? It definitely isn't like competing with what Crunchyroll houses and whatnot, but they're starting to become a craving and a wanting for anime on that platform because all of people's other favorite stuff is on that platform as well. And like, for example, One Piece, like Netflix is making a giant major push for One Piece outside of Japan. Over here in the West, they got the live action series that's incoming, and there's just been a boatload of news, but in particular Netflix, they got One Piece on there. They got a bunch of the anime. I don't know if it's like a couple of hundred episodes. They got a bunch of the anime on there. They got the live action in the works. They got some of the films. I believe they got, if I'm not mistaken, Strong World on the way to the platform as well. Like, they actually have a diverse catalog, and that brings us in. Although, to be fair, I'm kind of nervous about that One Piece live action because we don't know what twists and turns is going to happen. I mean, for crying out loud, Jamie Lee Curtis recently came out and said, yo, dog, I wouldn't mind being a part of One Piece, and that kind of blew my mind. Actress Jamie Lee Curtis wants to be Kureha in the One Piece live action series. While there were plenty of water cooler discussion starters at this year's Academy Awards, one standout moment came from actor Will Smith when he slapped Chris Rock, and we couldn't escape the memes. Oh, my bad. Wrong notes. My fault.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
From actress Jamie Lee Curtis on the red carpet. The Halloween star told TikTok red carpet host Emily Uribe and Juju Green that she has a vested interest in appearing in the live-action One Piece series and would like the role of Kureha in a hypothetical second season. You know, there's that wizened old crone lady. Maybe I can be Kureha, she said. My daughter Ruby said that would be what I would play. Curtis's daughter Ruby Guest appeared on the One Piece podcast last year, and a listener suggested the role Guest's mother. Guest responded, my mom loves Kureha. I would be 100% for it, and I honestly, since Netflix is doing the live-action adaptation, I would highly recommend her to pull some strings to see if she can. I know my mom is 100% for it, and Jamie Lee Curtis stated at the Oscars that she wants everyone to watch One Piece, and that is she is so ready to play Kureha in season 2. And it sounds like maybe she, unless she was really reading off some sort of script because she wants to get involved and this looks like a really good check, or maybe she is a One Piece fan, who knows, or, you know, she was fed these lines. You just never know nowadays. I don't trust nobody. I don't be like, yeah, oh yeah, no, Jamie Lee Curtis loves anime, and then she'd be like, oh yeah, I love anime. SpongeBob is so freaking cool. And then I look at her like, could you have at least said like Pokemon? Curtis shared that her favorite character is Tony Chopa, and name dropped her friend, voice actor Brina Palencia. Oh, okay, yeah, Brina Palencia. Brina Palencia, man, she makes some moves outside of that. I remember she was like on The Walking Dead as like, she was a guest star in an episode or something like that as the voice actor of the character. The 63-year-old actress elaborated that she would love to play Nico Robin, but is a little too old for the role. She could play Nico Robin's mom. That would be fire. Nico Robin's mom was a freaking smoking hottie, and she was the mom. Netflix will exclusively stream the live-action One Piece series. Manga creator Eiichiro Oda will serve as executive producer, and the series has already casted a whole bunch of people we covered here on the channel to be in it. Curtis has shared her love for anime in the past, especially One Piece. She told a crowd at San Diego Comic-Con in 2016 that if she could play any television character, she would be Nico Robin. And again, I gotta say that when we get to Nico Robin, let's get her to play the mom, because it'll be quite some time then. And at the end of the day, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's aging like fine wine. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis looks the same to me as, like, I don't know, when I first discovered her as an actress, Halloween H2O. I mean, it would be awesome. It would give some recognition to the series. I'm sure Oda would be fine with it if she could do it, of Nico Robin's mom. I'm not even gonna lie, people, we're about to get a little bit darker with this one, okay? It's about to be One Piece related. We got a couple of stories of One Piece related stuff, but it's a little bit like, woo! And I'm probably making it more than it seems, but considering the fact that, yo, like, you know, if I was to get stopped right now, the law is the law, right? I'm getting, my ass is getting ticketed, dog. They're gonna give me a ticket for being stopped for whatever it may be, no seatbelt, speeding, even though I haven't got one of those in a while. Like, they're gonna stop me, right? Because pretty much a little bit of a scandal recently happened, and I'm kind of wondering, like, yo, dog, is this even bigger than we thought in terms of them trying to cover it up? And you're probably like, yo, Fornev, it's getting a little dark out here. What are you talking about? Well, it was a few days ago, and I was wondering if I was going to cover it or not, and then when reports came out for something else that was similar and related in nature to it, and it looked like a cover-up to me, I was like, let's talk about it. Boom. Because for me, the thing that was the straw that broke the camel's back to finally say, you know what, let's just talk about this, was the fact that it said One Piece chapter 1044 was featured on French news channel. One Piece manga chapter was so insane it was on French news. France's most popular manga is One Piece, which, yo, hold on, we got to give a big clap. That's kind of crazy. And I do legitimately think to a certain degree that One Piece, because I do know France is pretty big on manga. They're bigger than the West. They're bigger than, you know, the United States in terms of their love and passion for manga. So I can believe that One Piece 1044, because it was massive online and everywhere, was so big enough that they actually talked about it. I mean, they talk about, you know, anime here and there all the time on, like, different places in India and stuff like that. Like, they talk about anime, and in general, it looks like they... Okay, people, so I gotta keep it up. Oh, that scared them. It's legitimately believable that One Piece got talked about on the news over there. However, just before this, there was a little bit of an uproar and commotion over on Twitter, because apparently French police were caught posting about, reacting, and talking about and promoting a chapter of One Piece prior to its official release over there. Essentially what some might say and deem and harp at, and the companies even harp at it, even if you're doing it by the legal ways, is promoting piracy. Because essentially One Piece chapter 1044, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 1043 or 1044 that police were caught sharing and tweeting and talking about over there on Twitter, and fans called them out about it. Because the first person that called it out was Manga Moguro Ri. It said, well, that's certainly something. French official police count is using a pirated One Piece chapter to be released officially in 3 days to promote itself. They said, it's like Luffy against Kaido. You want to act for the safety of your fellow citizens? Join our crew on the site. Hashtag Gendemari. Hashtag Notre de Engagement Votre Security. Hashtag One Piece 1044. Hashtag Luffy. Hashtag Kaido. Hashtag Nika. Hashtag Hito Hito no Mi. And mind you, this was before the street release date. And that's when fans decided, oh, no, hold on. The boys, 12, they doing this right now? And the fans let them have it. Hello, Glenot Manga. This person is talking about an illegally read chapter, the official release being on Sunday. They pretty much hit one of the publishing companies and said, yo, dog, the police are talking about and promoting your manga illegally that you have license over here. Another person said, well, that's good because it's the Gendemari and their shitty propaganda. So people took to say, you know what, this is all a political thing anyway, so screw all of them. And they were getting teared to shreds over there. So I'm not even gonna lie, to me, I think about it, and I could be off on this, but it does seem to kind of stick together that, hey, so cops get caught pirating and promoting piracy, shall I say, of One Piece chapter 1044. All of a sudden the news, instead of the cycle being like, oopsie, our police messed up, oh hey, yo, One Piece 1044 is a great chapter, right? Everybody loves One Piece. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it sounds like a cover up for them. Because I mean, dog, like, yo, that would be something big, because in Japan especially, those police might get, you know, either arrested or fired. I don't know how their badge of honor stuff works over there and whatnot. Do they protect their own or whatever? But chances are, if it was a system that was more accurate and valid and keeping people accountable, supposed to be here to protect us and whatnot, like, yo, dog, they shouldn't be doing this. And honestly, there should be something happening happening reprimanding, considering the fact that they be going after people heavy, especially there's this whole anti-piracy, you know, big Shogakukan, Shueisha coming together. It's like, it's madness. So I don't know. I find it very, very interesting and fascinating that, you know, there be some hypocrisy of, you know, promoting, like, you know, do right, do good, and then oopsie. If I forget to use the crosswalk and I jaywalk, you know what's happening, right? Come on. You know if them 12 find me right there, you know what's going to happen. So honestly, while it feels like it's a little bit ridiculous, ultimately fans was going in, and them boys over there in France was not feeling very bonjour like Boruto fans, because we're still like, yo, dog, where's the time skip at? Kind of similar in nature of not feeling bonjour like Boruto fans right now, because, dog, it's been a little bit of a minute since we've had any canon from the manga, and while some people might actually be enjoying what's going on in the anime, personally me, I've decided, you know what, instead of coming in here and constantly downing it, I will just wait till it gets back to stuff that I enjoy, or I'll check it out at another time, and then maybe a binge watch will make it a little bit more palatable, because sometimes it goes into the hit or miss, and yeah. However, one of the staff members over there at Boruto, I believe, again, he's either a director or producer, and I really got to get that down packed. But essentially, Honda-san was talking over on Twitter about one of the latest episodes. I believe he was promoting it. He said, Boruto and Kagura fight against Satan from 7:13 today. And this was, I believe, on Sunday. And that was like, what, 12:30? He said, please watch it, Boruto. Which, okay, fair enough. You're just promoting what you got going on. It's not your fault that we're into this Boruto anime only stuff that, yeah, it might amount to something. But is it going to really amount to something in the grand scheme of things? Is anything that happens in these anime only episodes gonna really tie in and like reshape the story as a whole? Boruto is going to lose a ligament in these anime only episodes. Kawaki is going to learn something that is going to change him forever. Probably not. And that's where I stand with it in terms of the fact that I read and watch so many things that I'm not even going to want to attempt anymore to be like, yeah, you know, I want all of those extra details, whereas like I got 50 other shows that I'm going to watch that it's going to give me some type of other experience, and I could just come back to this when it's back to the stuff that I really, really want to see. Or when people telling me like, yo, dog, that flashback, you know, time travel stuff with Jirai and all that stuff, like, I want more of that. However, Honda-san had to quickly put some fan in their place in terms of a fan was calling out what happened in one of the recent episodes of Boruto. Apparently, Boruto in the episode was not using his karma mark, and at this particular point in the story, they're like, yo, dog, why is Boruto not using his karma mark? They asked Honda, why is Boruto not using it? And Honda said, do you believe that Boruto has the character to easily rely on the power of Momoshiki, who took his master's eyes? And I'm not even gonna lie, I was kind of like, yeah, like, do you read the manga, dog? Like, how do you be like, yeah, no, he had a valid point in terms of, yeah, Boruto, you know, ideally he wants all of this to go away. That's the entire point of the story right now. Pretty much like, yo, Otsutsuki, bye-bye, we don't want no karma, take your karma. Like, no, like, they don't want the karma, they don't want none of it to do with it. It's just like, it's an annoyance, a nuisance, and it's a problem. It's one of the big reasons why Boruto is going on right now. That's like the threat, or well, a part of it. I don't really want to say they're the threat anymore. You get what I'm saying? Just personally feel like the manga contradicts that statement to a certain degree. Yes, Boruto isn't necessarily wanting to use the power, but if push comes to shove, he's going to use the power, unless that means that these episodes, the conflict is so low that it doesn't feel like push comes to shove, and Boruto's like, nobody's gonna die right here, right? This is anime only stuff, right? Like, we good. Like, we could just get it done without having to use all of that. Like, that's gonna cost extra, you know, they gotta use a CGI effect for the flashing. Like, let's just stick to the basics. We'll just Rasengan! And that shit vanishes, so that's even cheaper. Because at the end of the day, all of these are just businesses. They're always trying to go cheaper so that they can save money, make more money. Obviously, capitalism is the way. Kind of like why Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie, pretty much exists, that it's essentially cheaper. Because we got a little bit of an update. It just says here, Dragon Ball Superhero Shonen Jump HQ scan featuring a new look at Piccolo, potential unlocked. And I'm not even gonna lie, this scan kind of looks cool. Like, everything outside of when the movie is in motion looks kind of cool. Like, a lot of the art be looking dope or whatnot, and this is something that I had to address as well, that I never got the opportunity to address. This picture in particular, it has Gohan, which Gohan looks cool. He looks like he's probably going to disappoint down the road, because that's usually par for the course when it comes to us Gohan fans. We're gonna get disappointed. However, Piccolo, right? I kind of joked about it when it was initially released, but apparently this is a form, right? Light skin Piccolo. That's essentially a form, because it's Piccolo unlocked, which that feels like something so common, like you would use as Kid Gohan in one of the Budokai games back in the day. A potential unlock. Like, how is that some sort of big deal? But either way, light skin Piccolo is his new transformation, Piccolo unlocked, and it's just the most laziest thing. Like, people have complained throughout the years, dog. People have complained and prodded and all sorts of stuff about, like, yo, dog, Dragon Ball Z has come to the point of they change Goku's hair and we all go crazy and scream. Like, they change the color of it, not not the texture, not the design, the color of it. And we go, oh, it's green now, what? And now they're taking that same idea and applying it to Piccolo. So now Piccolo is just light-skinned. Like what's in the dark shall come to the light. Dog, give me my dark-skinned Piccolo all day. I'm sorry, dog. Like, yo, the scan looks dope. Honestly, like, I wish the movie looked more like some of these 2D drawings looked or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Piccolo Unlocked, Piccolo's new potential, Piccolo's transformation. It would have been cool if his design would have changed. I don't know, give him some freaking horns, some wings, a couple, something there. Change it up a little bit. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Light-skinned Piccolo is no bueno in terms of like, yo, dog, where's the design innovation? Where's being innovative? Where's the change that is going to make me look at it and be like, oh, that's something different? It's more so like, if anything, they are literally just upfront about the nostalgia thing. They're not telling us that but it's basically like, yo, dog, we're not going too far from what you love, which was Dragon Ball Z. Like, they never really want to take the template off in terms of what they're trying to do with Super, which is basically make Dragon Ball Z in 2022, the feel, the fights, and all that jazz. Like, they're not trying to go Dragon Ball route. They're not trying to go any other route other than like that vibe that you got in Z. But it's just kind of like, yo, dog, what are we doing here? Kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen yet again with another break, which I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of not really mad about. Like, yo, that's why I was like, yo, dog, we're gonna start this episode off in a little bit of an angrier tone because, yo, I gotta get that off. But then, bam, Jujutsu Kaisen, it says here, is getting another break next week, and Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 19, and the series will resume in issue 20 as scheduled. And I don't know if that's a sudden break. It doesn't seem to be the case of being confirmed as a sudden break, so I don't know if this is one of those things of like how the manga are starting to get more regular breaks. Each and every one are getting their turn, so it could be that, and it just happened to kind of coincide with, hey, it was just like a week or two ago that Gege Akutami, you know, had to take a break due to health reasons. But I still always be worried, and I'm still always like, yo, sending positive vibes, sending a whole bunch of love and support to Gege Akutami, that they can get it done, that they can do the job, that they can make Jujutsu Kaisen be one of the biggest things of all time or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because Jujutsu Kaisen is really awesome, and I hate hearing when Gege has to take a break, because that means that probably Gege is overwhelmed, and I know that these mangaka lifestyles are ridiculously bad and harsh, and, you know, they work like crazy. So take another break. At the end of the day, Jujutsu Kaisen was the best-selling manga of 2021. Take the breaks that you need. You did it. You did it already. It's on autopilot. As long as you write some really awesome shit and continue on, and you let Jump handle the promotion side of things and whatnot, just do what you got to do and take those breaks and screw it all. I don't care who gets mad. I don't care if we got a hiatus of 6 months so that Gege can really get it right and come back strong with no more breaks. Whatever it may be, I support it in terms of let the creators breathe, relax, so that they can have a positive and sound mind to come back and really write the stories that we love and enjoy in the best possible form. Because if not, then you're going to have a whole bunch of authors breaking down and, you know, just not feeling well, and in general giving us some type of commentary, kind of like sometimes that we get in the Weekly Shonen Jump author comments that we got like right here. Because it started off with Yuto Suzuki, author of Sakamoto Days. I'm suffering from sleep paralysis a lot lately. Is it because I listened to a bunch of Daiun Miki's scary stories? Sleep paralysis is really freaking scary to me. I'm not even gonna lie, that scares me. Then we got Gege Akutami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen. I kind of think that Udo's transparent censoring would stand out even more in color. I regret it a little bit. Man, I hate hearing that with authors too, when they regret something like that. Like, I get it or whatnot, but one of the things about being an artist and a creative is that you always feel like your painting, your creation is never really done. There's always more that you can do to the painting and whatnot. So especially when it comes out, they're gonna feel that way. But Gege, you're doing fine, man. You're doing fine. Kohei Horikoshi, author of My Hero Academia. I'm still using a student desk. Recently the drawer broke and fell off. It sure has lasted a long time. Let's have a little bit of fun and take that as a metaphor, shall we? I'm still using a student desk, meaning My Hero Academia is still in the student portion. He still feels like almost an early mangaka. He doesn't feel like a vet yet. Recently the drawer broke and fell off. My Hero Academia isn't necessarily doing what they had anticipated. Maybe they thought it was going to be even bigger than it is right now, despite the fact that it's incrementally climbing up. It's not having that big boost like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. It sure has lasted a long time. Yo, are you fucking kidding me, dog? And it sure lasted a long time, meaning the fact that his previous series and most series that are in Jump that don't really get that far and within like 16 chapters. My Hero Academia is already what, 340 something chapters? Like, My Hero Academia has gone a long time, so yeah, sure, it has lasted a long time. But seriously, he's probably just talking about his desk. But either way, it was funny to put a little bit of logic behind that. I feel like this is the year that My Hero Academia is just gonna constantly be talked about, especially from me, of hey, it's finale, it's ending, it's almost over, because yeah, they kind of announced that it's about to end. We got Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. I went to see the Spirited Away stage play. It was so well done that I could be saying plane, I went to the actual Aburaya bathhouse. Man, a Spirited Away stage play. Oh my god, I would love to go there, take my family, my daughter also. Oh my god, that would be so much fun, especially like anime Spirited Away. That'd be awesome. Then going all the way towards the bottom where it's looking like, yo dog, yeah, the new and latest serializations, they're probably gonna get the axe. However, considering the fact that Shonen Jump is probably within the next 2 years going to undergo a massive revamp of new series, I believe the next time these authors come around, if they try to come to Weekly Shonen Jump again, they probably will have massive success with their next one if it's a good one. Like, because both of them are really good. And by the way, I'm referring to, for starters, Gen Osuka Dororan, second to last. I plan to get a dog someday, so I often fall asleep while thinking of what I'll name it. Any dog I get is probably gonna be named after like an anime character that I like, just keeping it real. I had a dog called Guts at one given point. I had another dog called Conan, Detective Conan, okay? Like, when I was younger and I was really into comics, I had a female pit bull named Harley Quinn. Like, I was an original Harley Quinn fan, okay? Of like the Batman the Animated Series, Paul Dini, Eric Radomski, Bruce Timm, that era. I know there's probably a few of you out there like, yo dog, Fornev knows about all of that. Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Eric Radomski, the background's black paper, like, yo, Dwayne McDuffie, the GOAT. R.I.P. to the maestro, man. And then at the very end of it all, Yuji Kaku Hayashimon, also known as the author of Hell's Paradise. There's a movie I want to see, and then I quickly realized that it's no longer playing theaters. I hate that this keeps happening, and that's probably because he underestimated, I'm willing to bet, if he's having scheduling issues, he underestimated the workload of being in Weekly Shonen Jump, and it's probably kicking his behind. He probably didn't realize, like, oh dog, I ran out of time, because he's constantly locked in a room day in and day out, 20 hours a day, drawing, inking, thinking of ideas. Like, the life of a mangaka is no joke, but also it looks like it might be coming to an end short, and sadly for both of these gentlemen, Gen Osuka and Yuji Kaku, because they've been in the bottom of the TLC for a little bit now, and they don't have the notoriety to survive. It would only be up to the editorial staff and department to be able to say, yeah, we like these, we're gonna keep them around, similar to what happened with Demon Slayer, but that costs faith, and if they have faith in it, we'll see. But wow, it's not looking great for either of them at all, and I've been saying that a couple of weeks now. Expect cancellation soon. I'm calling it, both of them probably. Which conveniently wraps up our time here today. Curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, anything you enjoyed that I did in ForneverNews that you're like, yo dog, I want more of that, or something that I didn't do that you're like, yo dog, can I get more of that again? Like, you haven't done it in a while or at all. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace. And you guys just watched another episode of ForneverNews. Have an awesome day. So just go to